Hey everyone, still playing catch up, but I'm going to stop saying things now because every time I say something's coming, it becomes 10 times harder to produce. And I do think that I've heard this somewhere along the line as Hermetic wisdom. If you have something that you want to manifest, something that you want to do, you need to keep it to yourself. You need it to be a secret because as soon as you put it out into the universe, as soon as you speak the words, your subconscious mind hears it and thinks it's already been accomplished and moves on to the next thing. I've noticed this because every time I talk about something that I'm in the process of making, after I speak of it, it's like my mind forgets that it exists, and I don't get the pull that I have to go back to it, even though it's great work. Like a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, it's hard to find a time to stop. It's hard to find a place to stop. Everything feels like there's just more and more information coming, and that's part of what I enjoy about this. Is I can sit there while making a video and discover things that I've never seen before just because I've got it all laid out in front of me. And that feels incredible. But telling people about it, that's somewhat damaging to the schedule for producing it. So I'm going to say that there are things coming. Not going to say what. I think it's probably a good move as well in the long term. Because when you say you're going to do something, you feel bad then if you don't do it. And I don't like to make promises and not keep them. And I like to have freedom. I like to be free. If I feel like it tomorrow, instead of waking up and researching things for videos, I might decide that I just want to refresh my mind on the first aid course I took once. Just relearn the doctor's ABC, which, if you don't know, is the basic protocol for first aid. The DRSABC will stand for words. It's a mnemonic. It makes it easier to remember. Because the protocol, if you were to find someone who is in need of first aid, someone unconscious, and first thing you do is look at the doctor's ABC. The D is for danger. You want to look around and make sure nothing can hurt you if you approach the body. And it's all down to that first principle that you can't help others if you yourself are not in a state in which you can. So the number one rule is your own safety. So that's the danger for D. Then R, response. You introduce yourself, say your name, that you're a first aider, ask them a question that should be easy to respond to. Something like, could you tell me your name? There's a couple of alternatives. Either you get a response or you don't get a response. So if you get a response, then you're able to judge by the response as to how capable the person would be of being able to get themselves out of the situation. Like if you can pick them up, move them to another location. The S is for shout. You need to shout for help. This would be the best thing that you can do, really, is many hands make light work. And you, especially if the casualty is unconscious, you're going to want someone to be dealing with the phone call while you're possibly starting CPR. Then you have the A, B, and C, stands for airways, breathing, and circulation. So the airways, most important. You have to make sure that their airways are clear. Make sure nothing's blocking them from being able to breathe. Then second of all, breathing. You have to check their breathing, see if they're able to breathe comfortably, if there's any pains coming from the breathing, if it seems unusual in any way. It's something that needs to be said to the response unit on the phone. And circulation is checking the blood circulation. And make sure that there's nothing on the body that is causing harm to the body, nothing sharp digging into the body, blood coming out of different areas. And they're the first 6 things to consider when you come across an unconscious body. And these are things that I think are quite important, especially in what I like to do. Is I do believe that a lot of these videos are helping people. This belief stems from this information helped me when I was looking at it in other people's videos. And it's not always with spiritual or mental things that you're helping people with. Sometimes something physical could appear in front of you, and the opportunity to help someone in the physical world. If you're not prepared and you won't know what to do, you could actually potentially be a liability. There was the famous Hillsborough disaster in the UK, which we were told about when I did my first aid training. They said that if everyone had been taught first aid at school, that things would have been a lot easier. As a lot of people that were there, there was a football match where far too many people were let in, and a lot of people were crushed. A lot of people were unable to breathe, ended up passing out. And there were first aiders on the scene that were putting people in the recovery position. But because people that were there were looking for their loved ones in a bit of a panic, they weren't aware of the recovery position, that it was helping save people's lives, keeping their airwaves open and stopping them from choking on blood, saliva, vomit, any kind of fluids that could have caused problems. And they're going over and having a look at the bodies, tapping them on the shoulder, rolling them over. Nope, nope, that's not Ted, Bill, Ted. This was no excellent adventure. There's a lot of people that were in a position that could have saved their lives and then rolled into a position that endangered it. And I think that being taught first aid in schools would be a hell of a lot better than learning about different genders or some kind of race theory or anything divisive. First aid promotes life, and it helps people to help others. But I do believe that the schools are heading a different way. They are more looking to people doing all AI-based things, all AI-based learning. Hardly any of it be to do with real people at all. They don't want people to even speak to people, touch people. It's all about division. Heavily pushing Elon Musk at the moment. He's been added to Trump's cabinet of superheroes, and I don't believe he's here to save the world. I believe that Elon Musk is AI himself. He is someone he is an agent that has been placed there at our expense, and those that are in the know are laughing about it, because would it not be funny? The one who's pushing all of these ideas about AI is actually AI himself. Like, not sure if that's something that will ever be revealed, but that is something that is a little personal belief of mine. Watching the guy, I just don't believe that he's a real person. He doesn't act like a real person. He doesn't move like a real person. There's something about it that just doesn't quite seem right. So yeah, it's good to have freedom. It's good to be free to just one day decide that, yeah, for today I'm just going to listen to a lot of things that might help in the world of health. Yeah, health is the number one concern. Because without your health, there's not many other options available to you. And a lot of the options that are available to you seem to come with the added lesson of learning about what it means to be in bad health. If you're anything like me, you'll have done many things over the years that would have done damage to your body. And on top of making bad choices in the first place, we were very ill-informed to begin with. And a lot of things working against us. And then it would have to be, as otherwise we wouldn't have such short lives. They want us to believe that people don't live very long, that even all of the celebrities, they die off at something like 70 years. They all die young, despite having access to all of the best health services, all of the best dietitians and personal trainers. And they seem to try pushing this idea that it's trendy to be an adult that can barely function as one. Like Grimes, Elon Musk's partner or baby mother, springs to mind when she was doing her "What I Eat in a Day" videos and making out like she was struggling at life. And it's one of these things that people do to try and make themselves appear more relatable, which I see it as just another form of deception, really. And it, in the long run, just keeps people away from good health. Good, healthy options. Because everything is connected. You got the four elements are connected. The mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul are all connected. The earth, the fire, the wind, and the water, all just the building blocks. I think in order to have mastery over these, first you have to have mastery over the ones that go together to form you. And sometimes just reminding yourself of things that are healthy, like staying hydrated, eating one of your 5 fruit and veg a day. Something along those lines can make a massive difference. Maybe skip a meal, do some intermittent fasting, allow your body time to regenerate. A lot of the problems that you have on the inside can be dealt with if all of the inner first aiders aren't held up, dealing with other things that are emergencies. The less emergencies you have, the more time you have to spend on all of these cells that are terminal and dying. Give them a comfortable send-off, make sure their positions are filled. So this is a brief catch-up video. There is other stuff I'm working on that will be coming. I'm not going to give you any details. So to see what it is, you'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.